Okay, so today we are going to discuss some interesting questions based on the formula ideal cross B, which is very much important for entrance examinations as well. And before we start this video, I assume that you have seen the previous video where we derived the formula ideal cross B, and we discussed some questions where we saw how to find force on one wire because of another wire. Okay, so taking on from where I left, especially for entrance examination, let us consider this situation over here. Question number 1. Very good question. I will discuss around 3 or 4 questions. I am struggling with this straight line. This is one wire carrying a current in this direction. Okay. And this is having a current of I. And there is a square loop over here. Such that this distance is A and this distance is B and this distance is L. BL, and this is having a current of this is I, so I will consider this current as I dash. So this current in this loop is I dash. Now the question is, what is the force on this loop because of this wire? Force on this loop because of this wire. Now you may think it's a very difficult problem, but no, it's not. Now consider this. We will first find the force on this part. Then we are going to find the force on this part. And then we are going to say that force on this and force on this will be cancelled out and it will be 0 on this and this. Okay, let's start with this one. So this wire will create a field here. This wire will create a field here in this direction. Inward. Correct? Inward. Inward. Here also it will be inward. Now, I got the direction of field. Okay? Remember the two parties system. IL cross B. First find the direction of field. Done. Go to the second party now. Second party will have IL. So this is having IL, the I dash L. IL cross B. IL cross B. Force is in upward direction. So force here will be in the upward direction. What about this one? This one will be IL cross B. IL cross B. Force will be in the downward direction. Cancels each other. Okay. What about this one? This one will create a field here, which will be along this direction. This one will create a field here, which will be in this direction. Okay. Remember here. Okay. Now this one will experience a force. So I got the field. Second party done. First party done. I got the field. I got the field because of this wire. Now this wire. I'll put I dash so that will not get confused. So I dash cross L. Yeah? See? This direction. And over here. This is IL cross B. IL cross B in this direction. But these two will not cancel each other. Reason? There is a reason that these two will not cancel each other. The reason is this end of the wire is at a larger distance from this wire. So the magnetic field here will be less. And this wire is nearer to this wire. So the magnetic field here because of this wire will be more. This magnetic field will be equal to mu naught I. Remember the formula because of infinite wire? Mu naught I by 2 pi r. So mu naught I by 2 pi r. What is r? R is A. And here the field will be equal to mu naught I by 2 pi, and then this whole distance is A plus B. This whole distance is A plus B. So if this force wins the battle, so the net force will be in this direction. Net force will be in this direction. So let me call this force as F1 and F2 because they are not same. So the net force will be equal to F1 minus F2 with direction minus I cap. Now what is F1? F1 is I dash L, okay, I dash L, length is L, as I told you earlier, into B. B is mu naught I divided by 2 pi A minus I dash L mu naught I divided by 2 pi A plus B. And then whole thing will have a direction, and the direction will be equal to minus of I cap. Okay, interesting, correct? Here they ask what is the force on the wire because of the loop. Force on the wire because of the loop. What we have found? We have found force on the loop because of the wire. If the question is vice versa, find the force on the wire because of the loop. Answer is same. Newton's third law. Direction, there we got minus I cap, here we will get plus I cap. But answer will remain same. Okay? Next question. Suppose if you have a magnetic field region, and in this magnetic field region I have placed a loop, and this loop is carrying a current of I. Now the question is, what is the force on this wire, this loop? Now this is a field B. If I have to find force on this wire, this is my IL. So remember, force formula is IL cross B. So B is there, a field is there. IL cross B, force will be in this direction. On this wire it will be along this direction. Now this will also experience the same field as this one. So IL cross B, force will be in this direction. Okay, then this one will be IL cross B, force will be in this direction. So what is the net force in this case? In this case the net force is 0. Always keep this in mind. Whenever a loop which is carrying a current, irrespective of shape, whether it's a shape of a square, whether the shape of a pentagon, hexagon, circle, any irregular shape also, if it is placed in a uniform electric field, magnetic field, the field must be, magnetic field must be uniform. Unlike the previous case, field was not uniform, field was decreasing, because the more near you are in front of a, the more near you are to a infinite wire, stronger will be the force. The more far away you are from an infinite wire, weaker will be the force. So in the previous case, force was variable because the field was variable. But in this particular case, the uniform field is present over here. Everybody is experiencing the same field. So the force will be having IL cross B. B will be everywhere same. I and L is also same. Directions are so in such a way that net force becomes 0. And I told you, irrespective of any shape, if there is a loop carrying a current in a magnetic field, it will become 0. It will become 0. Okay? Okay. But will this be 0? Let's see. See, the moment we teach something, then there's suddenly in entrance, what is the beauty of entrance? I taught you something, correct? Now, let us say suddenly there will be a small change now in the same question. Now let us say that I took the current from here, correct? So when the current comes from here, let us say it splits as I and I over here, and then it recombines over here as 2I. Okay, 2I. And this is of insignificant length. This is of insignificant length over here. And this is all placed in a magnetic field. placed in a magnetic field over here. So what is the direction of force now? This one will create a field, this one will create a force in this direction, correct? Good, this direction. What about this one? Good, this direction. What about this one? This direction. What about this one? This direction. Correct? See, the whole thing got changed. And let us say it is the square root of side length L, that means each force will be IL times of B. Each force will be equal to IL times of B. So what is the whole thing? I am getting a force here, ILB, that is 2F, 2 times of ILB. And I am getting one force in this direction, that is also F, and F, that is equal to 2 times of ILB. So this must be my resultant force. And the resultant force, if I consider that root over of 2ILB the whole square plus 2ILB the whole square, and hence this will be equal to, I can take 2ILB common and then this will become root 2. So this is a okay. Small change and the whole answer got changed. This is question number 3. Magnetic effect of current is extremely interesting. Okay, question number 4. Let's discuss this. There will be a small integration involved here, okay, but you must know how to solve this. Infinite wire, and I have a wire in this direction, and this is carrying a current of I dash, such that this length is your A and this length is equal to your L, and this is carrying a current. Now here we cannot find directly the force on this wire. Why we cannot find directly the force? Because the field here and 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 the field here are different. Correct? One thing we can find, the direction of force. Direction of field because of this will be inside. Will be inside. Field because of this wire here will be inside. Correct? And IL cross B. So once I get the field, now the second part. Remember the force rule? The rule is this. Find the field first, so I got the field. Now you take the rule, IL cross B. IL cross B. Force is in this direction. That I know. But I cannot directly find the B here because B at every point is changing. So what we will do is this. We will take a small element over here. A small element, let us say at a distance of x, having a thickness of dx. So this has a thickness of dx. And the field because of I here will be inside, and that field will be equal to mu naught I by 2 pi x because the distance is x. And that small element will experience a force. That small element dx will experience a force in this direction. Let me call that as df, which is equal to I dash into dx is the length multiplied by b. So this is my dx length, correct? So what is the formula? IL cross b. L here is dx. For this, I want to find the force in a very small loop, a very small segment, and that small segment will have a length of dx. So I dx cross b, and b is inside. So the df will be equals to I dx, and b is mu naught I by 2 pi x. Direction is, as I told you, direction will be upward, so j cap. This is equal to mu naught I dash I divided by 2 pi, and then you have dx by x as your df force. Now in order to get the total force, I will integrate this. From where to where? From this end to this end. What is the distance? The value of x for this point is a. The value of x for this point, that means from here to here is a, and from here to here is a plus l. So here to here is a, and here to here is a plus l. So your F will be equal to mu naught I dash into I divided by 2 pi, and then you will integrate this. After integration you will get natural log x from where to where? From a to a plus n, and this is equal to mu naught I dash into I by 2 pi natural log a plus L divided by a. This is the expression of force. That is the final answer here. I skipped one point over here. This the second step of this one will be like this: L natural log a plus L minus natural log a, and the formula is log x minus log y is log x by y. From here it looks like this. So it's up to you. Now there will be some questions which are again very easy, but it just appears to be difficult. It only appears to be difficult. So suppose I have a loop like this, okay, and this is carrying a current I, and just to make you afraid, they will just give a question like this: that in this space there is a magnetic field. In this region there is a magnetic field whose value is k times of x. Okay, k times of x. That means as you increase the value of x in that direction, the value of magnetic field will keep on increasing. In these particular cases, always select the origin first. Select the origin 0. Measure a distance called x. Consider the length of L like this. Or consider this distance as A. Okay. Now, in order to find the force, let us go step by step. If your x is changing in this direction, the force here, which will come the way we did that one, but in this case it won't be like integration part. But here, don't get panic. You have to do integration, but it won't look like that. But one thing, just to do this question, I know that whatever I do here and whatever I do here, the result will be same, direction will be opposite, because the field is changing from here to here, the field is changing from here to here. So whatever I do here with this as a direction of current, whatever I do here with this as a direction of current, force will be in the opposite direction, giving me the same value, but direction will be different. So definitely the force here, whatever it is, this I am not going to consider, because this force will get cancelled out. I will consider this and this. So what is the force here? Here the value of x for this point is x equals to a. So my force here will be equal to, let us call this as F1. F1 will be equals to k times of a. Sorry, the formula says I L cross B. Now I L B is how much? K times of A. Okay, direction minus I L. What about this one? Let me call this force as force F2, which will be in that direction. Okay, so F2 will be equal to IL into B. That is equal to IL. B is how much? B is K times of, what is the value of x for this wire? The value of x for this wire at this point, the value of x will be equal to A plus L. So value of x for this wire is A plus L. A till here, and then this length is L, so value of x becomes A plus L. So here it will become A plus L. Direction plus I L. So what is the net force? Now this is more, because this is A plus L over here, this is only A, this is A plus over here. So what is the net force? Net force will be equal to F2 minus F1. and that is equal to F2 minus F1 will be equal to, so net direction will be plus I cap because F2 is more. So I will get here as I L K A plus L minus I L K into A. I L K into A, I L K into A will get cancel out, so you will get I L K times of L square. Sorry, I K times of L, or I L into K into L, and that is equal to I K times of L square. Direction. Okay. So whenever there is a variable field, you can do the questions in this manner also. Okay, so I'll give you a worksheet. You practice some more questions based on this. Just relax. Okay, this will take some time. And practice the method of finding the direction of force on a current carrying element. Either you can practice this IL cross B, the one which I use, stretch your finger towards A vector, curl your finger towards B vector, IL cross B, IL cross B, IL cross B, IL cross B, or use the IJK form, I cross J equal to K, I cross minus J equal to whatever it is coming in. Or Fleming left hand rule, especially only for this case where we have FBI, force on a current carrying wire placed in a magnetic field. Okay, anyone, but do practice very sincerely. Okay, with this I stop my class, and we'll see you in the next class again.